Cool. We're back. GABZ TV. What are you saying?
We're here, we're back. Losso's got out of bed now, so we're gonna record again. He's been lazy lately.
You know what?
Taking the piss.
You saw that video that I sent you with the cat, that streamer.
Yo, if you bet Louis is going to arrest you. I got a question. Why did I drink 10 shots yesterday and not get drunk? I drink Casamigos and it tastes like water.
Welcome to Lagos, bro. Let's move. Welcome to Lagos.
About what he said about Nigeria. He had 10 Casamigos shots.
The drink.
And he wasn't drunk. No, people were thinking that you were capping. Crazy.
You know what's funny? When we're talking about that and we're doing it, I'm like, I'm not saying it in a bad way. Go and do what you want to do, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna buy a drink and you're gonna pay a ridiculous amount for a drink that really could poison you, I mean, you're better off buying it from duty free and taking it with you. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying don't go and buy it. If you want to go and buy it, go and buy it. But for me, bruv, if I can drink a drink like that and not get touched, that means that something you've diluted it with something, and it still tastes like it's like Casamigos. Yeah, that's mad.
You think it's not the heat, innit?
Boy, we can test it. We could do an experiment. Put a Hennessy in a very hot environment for a period of time. Let's see. Because if you warm drink sometimes, like for example, if you warm a JD, but that shit hurts your throat. As in, too hot. That's what they usually use for when you got a cough. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
All right, then cool. Let's go with the first video now.
The school system has made us believe that it's an 8-hour-a-day, 5-day-a-week process. It takes a couple of hours every single day to homeschool your children. Working parents are doing it all over the country right now. We learned in COVID, for a virus with a 99.9% survival rate, that we will pull our children out of school. There is a virus in our schools with a 99.9% spiritual mortality rate. Get your children out of these schools. You can do it. We can help. FirmlyPlantedFamily.org. The school system has made us believe that it's an...
I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't got much to say to that, bro. What do you think? What's your thought?
I think that's based on America, because she sounds like she's American, right? So I can't really speak for the Americans. I don't know. But as far as all of that, if you are as a parent happy to entertain, manage, and educate your children on your own every day throughout a term, every year, by all means, go and do it. As far as I'm concerned, I ain't doing that shit. It's just not happening. And again, the educational system we have, to me personally, is flawless. I don't see why we would change it or why you should 8-hour days. It's only preparing you for what is the reality of the world, which is that entrepreneurs have 24-hour days. Working class people have 9 to 5, which is 8 hours a day, whatever. Like, it's only preparing you for the reality that you're gonna face. So I don't really get what the problem is. There's no flaw in our educational system. The system is designed to give children access to education. State system, which is, you could be the highest end of society or the lowest end of society. There is an institution that has qualified teachers that will give you access to education. Whether you choose to want to learn or not is up to you, but it is accessible. Now, they give you a number of subjects that you can do, which, let's say maths, for example, where they have so many different modules and so many different parts of maths that if you actually like, there's a career path with that further on in your education. Now, for a lot of you that complain about an educational system, if we had to pay for that, I can guarantee you the majority of kids will not go to school. Now, we complain about an educational system based on the state. But the reality is you ain't paying for that education. And if you have an issue with that education, go private. Why can't you go private? You have enough money to buy a bag, shoe, car. Why can't you go private? Go private. Go and pay it. And get whatever specialist education you want to get based on that. Because The state has declared all children have access to education. And that is the bottom line. And it doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't mind even if you have special educational needs and disabilities. You have access to education. Now, you could actually go to school, not learn, but still develop social qualities that you need to have, which is how to conduct yourself as a professional. Because the school didn't say if you don't pass, you're a failure. You might have failed your education as far as getting a qualification, but school is not just in state about grades. Yes, of course, everyone has to reach attainment levels. But, you know, they have different programs in schools for different kids, innit? Because all they want to do is give you access to education. You can't do GCSEs, guess what you do? Functional skills. And they have different levels for it. So that you can leave school with confidence and the ability to know that you are not completely stupid. Now, for a number of people that actually complain about this educational system, I can guarantee you now, none of you would know what a Bunsen burner is if not because of science educational state school. Because none of your parents are buying those equipment to go and do it. You don't even have enough room in your house. You have technology, IT, science, maths, English, geography, history, RE, business studies. And imagine, you business studies and none of you even own a business. Now, the people that are teaching you all these subjects are not business owners. They work just like anyone else. So guess what they're going to encourage you to do? Get a job, work. But imagine, someone can teach you business studies. You're complaining, oh, well, it's not helping my son make the money and whatever else. Or my daughter, da-da-da. But you yourself, what are you doing? You're working in the butcher shop. Not owning it all, cutting the meat. But you had mouth to complain to us. That's actually teaching your kid something that you can't teach your kid. The state. What are you talking about? If you want to go and homeschool your kid, by all means, go and do it. But I can guarantee you, all the equipment that you see in them schools, you ain't buying it. Because majority of kids that go to the state schools are on council housing. So stop your story. Behave. Otherwise the state will start making you pay. And when the state starts saying you should pay, let's go and riot outside Buckingham Palace or whatever the hell. I won't join you. You lot. Local authority and government. I didn't tell you I'm complaining. Just leave my name out of it.
Someone might argue that the current education system is in need of an upgrade. In the sense of moving with how society is and society's demands.
In what way?
In the sense of what the world demands of people, because obviously, like, let's say you're talking about the industrial age where people were more hands-on and we were building Britain and making Britain great again. And now we're in this technological age, you could argue that the demands have changed and so on. So do you believe that the education system, or could you see the argument that the education system needs an upgrade now?
No, it's upgraded. We never had art in school. You now have art. Now you do art well enough, you become an artist. In which case you follow your passion. Yes, before the Industrial Revolution, people handcrafted things and things were a lot better, which is that in actual fact, people saw themselves in the work that they did. When that passed and we went into more computerized, mechanical kind of way of doing things, yes, a lot of creativity went. But again, in schools, as that went, you added different things in the national curriculum to support not specific professions, general. Because the reality is that the state is not going to be able to provide exactly what you want. It will provide you things that you have access to. And your job is to take that and then go and run with that. So if you have music, art, whatever in one bracket, at least you get instruments that you can play. Maybe piano, you're amazing. But it's not for the school to make you amazing. If you want to be a sports person and you want to be in the Premier League, the PE department's not going to do that. But what they can do is give you a couple lessons on the fundamentals of PE and sport and football. You got to go to a specialist place to go and do that because they don't specialize in that. Their curriculum is access to education. So what haven't they upgraded? IT. We've gone from doing, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of that, which is when I was in school, to now we're doing coding. Have they not adjusted? What do you want them to do? Teach you how to use YouTube? That's for, if you people use their brain for things that you think kids could actually do and take to the next level, your job is to make a profession out of that, bring it to a school, get a contract from a school to teach it for 6-7 weeks at a time in different schools. Because the national curriculum can't provide that. That's your avenue now to start business. Not to go and say, oh yeah, you got to change the curriculum. What are you changing? What is there to change? The national curriculum is not designed to make you a millionaire. It's not designed to do that. The school system is not designed to do that. Think about where you would be if there was no school system. Let's just say there was no state school. Then what? What would be the complaint then? Because upon a time, there was no schools, only for people that could pay to go to school. What happened to many of the kids on the street? There's access to education, bro, which is that you could be the most challenging kid in the world. Guess what? There's a place that you can go to. It's called the PRU. If you're even more challenging and things are more difficult, there's special school, specialist education that you can get. And the local authority are throwing money at it. They're throwing, the government is throwing money at it to give you an opportunity. Now, if you go to many other countries, you start doing all that, they'll tell you forget. And I think sometimes you take the piss because in actual fact, you think it's normal to spit at teachers or to slap teachers. I think, yeah, it's okay. Imagine after you spat and you slap the teacher, they will kick you out only to now send someone to your house to keep giving you schooling after you've assaulted a teacher. Which is that the system hasn't given up on you. We just can't have you back in school. You're not safe. Tell me that's normal. That imagine you can do something like that and then still get the love from the system. Then imagine now you refuse to go and see the teacher. You refuse. Then they'll now go and hire another company to go and see you to make sure that you're okay. Every single time you refuse, there's somewhere for you to go. They're trying their best to figure out how they can do this. They could have used that money now and put it into doing programs to do with kids that's going to be the next Einstein. But guess what? School was not designed like that. Every child matters. No matter where they come from, who they are, or how they are. So school is not push you to go and get a degree. However, if you do want to get a degree, this is your opportunity to get one. And we're giving you access to qualified teachers that can teach you to be able to go on and get further education. Tell me, where's the flaw? What's the flaw? You want it to be updated to what? What do you want it to update it to?
I think people comparing it to like other countries and so on. So
we are from the UK, United Kingdom. If you don't like this country, please take your flight and go if it makes sense to you. And I'm not a big fan of, I'm not pro England. I'm just pro sense. And sense tells me we're in a country that has a system where every child matters. Every child. And no matter what they do or how they do it, there are provisions and systems in place to support that child. If you want to say something is bad about the educational system, you can say some of the teachers that are employed are bad. Which is that they don't do the job based on what they should do, which is a heartfelt job. Or maybe the leadership in that school is bad. For one reason or another. But I can guarantee you, as much as you say they're bad because you're not getting your own way. Not because they're actually bad. They're bad because in actual fact, they're following policy. And you don't like it. Because you want to have your cake and you want to eat it. So Go and do it. I mean, go and homeschool. I'm not buying all that equipment. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't buying all that equipment. All them saw machines and all that. You know, I'm not buying all that. I'll give you an Apple Mac. You know, some software. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing it. I ain't taking you to every different countries based on geography. We're gonna go and see a tropical rainforest. Yo, listen, if we go on a holiday and there's one there, cool, calm, but where you getting? Like, huh? Ain't doing it.